Hello and welcome to SBK Training session number 3. Today we're going to be going over the reporting capabilities within Smart BizKit, and they're going to be in two sections here. You'll see I'm starting from the desktop screen. First we're going to be looking at the Reports tab, which is over here to the left side, and then secondly we're going to be looking under a contact record to see the 3 different reports that are available in that side. So let's go ahead and begin by taking a look at the Reports tab here. We'll see that this brings up the Smart Reports Manager, and what these reports are is they give you really good vision into a lot of different things. So for example, you'll see that right here is a year-to-date comparison for sales by agent. So that means by individual sales rep. Or there is a sales lead status report to see where your sales leads are currently in place for all the current leads you have open. So a lot of different ways to get some vision into how you are doing and how you are managing all of your customers across sales and marketing campaigns. So let's go ahead and start from the top. We're going to look at the contact information report. This here, and I'm going to go ahead and just choose myself as an agent. Now you'll notice that this is blank. This will always default to yourself as the agent if you are the chosen agent that's logged in over here. But just for a good measure, I'm going to go down here and select my name. And I see that this is every contact record I've ever entered. Here's how these reports work. You'll see that I have date constraints that I can change in a date range. I can sort. I can print. And each report has pages. So for example, you'll see that I can scroll up and down here. That doesn't scroll like Adobe Acrobat in PDFs. You actually have to page down to get to the next pages. And you'll see this is a lot of printing accounts that I've entered. There's some fake accounts here that we've done for training, and some different employees that work here that we've entered as contacts. So it gives you a nice broad view if you ever wanted to print this out and make a calling list of people you want to talk to. Let's get out of there, back to reports again. The contact communication report. This is also really important. Let's go ahead and choose another agent. We're going to choose Tim. Now I'm going to drop this date range to 2012. And wow, look at all these communications that have taken place. Again, scrolling, I can't see every page, and there's 35 pages here of communications, and all these are everything that's ever taken place for everything under Tim. These aren't account sorted. They are only sorted by sales rep. So it's nice if we wanted to look in here and see, hey, is who's using SBK in the right way? And I can see that if Tim has 35 pages of communications, that's pretty good. So let's go ahead and scroll back up here, and it gives you another way that you can take a look at. If you've lost a communication, you can't remember when you did it, when you made it, you can come here and pull a report and say, I swear that I put a communication in that note for that customer. You can pull a date range here if you know about when it took place, and go ahead and make that report happen, and you can see all that data. All right. Moving on to the sales management type of reporting. Let's look at the action event win-back campaign report. This is great. I know it's going to be really well utilized, and it's a way that you can track your current win-back campaigns through all 3 steps. And let's go ahead and drop this date range 6 months and refresh the report. You'll see that this, for the date range to actually refresh, you must click this refresh button. And now I see, for example, Rita has 292 appointments created for win-back. 241 of them have been completed. 122 of them have gone through the start campaign. 30, and it looks like she has pretty good success on the first call of the start campaign, because not many of them get to the second before they become completed. And the total sold she has is $123,000. Looks like for win-back campaigns at a 25% GP. And it's really cool because it gives you a unique way of how to see where you are globally with all of your accounts in a condensed number, as opposed to a list of all the campaigns you have open. You can see a total number of where you are with all of your accounts, and it's a great way if Tom comes to you and says, hey, where are you with win-back? This is the report you want to show him. One quick note here, this link is on some reports, but not all reports, and it's where you can export this as a PDF document. Clicking this will automatically save this and open this as a PDF. A really nice way to print it, to share it via email. Agent sales year-to-date comparison report. Okay, this report, really great tool. I'm going to maximize this. I'm looking at myself right now at a date range of 12/1 to 12/31. I'm going to go ahead and drop that to 11/1 to 11/30. That way it gives us a full month of data. So right now I'm looking at the month of November. What were the sales for AE Moore Janitorial compared to last year? Average monthly sales over a year, and average gross profit. So right now they bought a set of business cards last month, so it's $39.99. In 2012 they didn't buy anything from us. If I were to take that $39.99 over 12 months, I see that it's approximately $3.64 across all of 2013 at a great gross profit of 57%. Now what do these highlights mean? This is kind of peach colored and this is red. Well, what that means is this peach color shows that this customer hasn't bought this month. And that's something like a red flag. Say, hey, they haven't bought this month. Do they typically buy this month? What's going on? Because in 2012, looks like they made a purchase, or it's been over 3 months since they've made any purchases at all. In red, you'll see if it's been over 6 months that they haven't made any purchases. And a lot of these, you'll notice, are printing accounts. And printing accounts is not an as frequent commodity as office products. So it's not always the most frequent purchasing. Anybody in white is purchasing frequently. And I have a couple pages here I can look at. And it's a nice tool to see what your accounts are doing, and the last date they had an invoice, and the last date they became a client. So for example, right here, Grace Baptist Church, I see they became a client on 12/21, and that's the last time they had an invoice. They haven't bought anything until 2013. They'd probably be worth a phone call, because I know they may be a small printing customer, but printing you should at least expect to be purchased annually. So that may be worth a phone call, and it gives me an idea, hey, let's pick up the phone and call them. If you ever find yourself with, I don't really have anybody to call today, or I don't have any new sales leads, besides getting new business, this is a great tool of how to comb through your current business and find out what's falling through the cracks. Back to reports again. Agent sales by customer. I'm going to select myself. And I'm also going to select the date range. I'm going to bring this down to June. Okay, again, I have a total amount of sales since June of $390,893, a total amount of invoices of $1,293, and it gives me a breakdown of all my companies. So I see Atlas Corp's, a printing customer. They've bought $2,800 with us in 3 invoices in that selected date range. They were entered as a customer on January 29th. Let's do just a month again, just to get some really clear numbers. So right now, you should be able to match this report to the sales report that Ron sends out at the end of the month. This number right here, 5454016, 54,540, should be the same number I see on that end of month sales report. It's going to show me all of my customers, how much they spent, how many invoices, when they were entered as a customer, and the last time they bought. So it's a great way to check your sales. It's a great way to make sure everything's accurate and give you some good clarity into what account is doing what. Again, you see the ability to export as a PDF. Let's jump down to the sales lead status report. Right now I'm showing all sales leads that are currently open for myself as an agent. I have 3 pages of sales leads that are relatively sales type of smart graphics, and a few win-back campaigns. that are currently in progress and being followed up on. It's nice because that report that we showed earlier where it condenses all those numbers into how many win-back campaigns you have going on, you're now able to see this broken out into each account. So if you want to follow up on all your campaigns separately, you want to print this report for yourself and go through them one by one, giving you the ability to look at each company as opposed to a total consolidated number. Personal average monthly sales. This is nice because it gives you a month-by-month breakdown of all the sales for each one of your current assigned customers. Again, choosing myself here. That same format we saw where if it's kind of like a peach color, you'll see no sales last 3 months. Red is no sales last 6 months. Gives you a great way to see what accounts are doing what, who to call, who's fallen through the cracks, who hasn't bought, why hasn't avid technology professionals been buying. They stopped. It's been a little while since they placed their last order. Why had they just went from April and then no sales after that? What happened with that customer? That's a good phone call to make. Anyone in red, okay, why have they not bought at all? Why has it been, what's going on with that? How is that trend happening, and what can we do to call that customer and regenerate that account? Really great way to get new regenerated business. Okay, and let's take a look at the personal new business report. New business report is nice because it's going to show you if you ever get asked, hey, what kind of new business do you have going on is for you as a sales rep? Well, right here is a report you want to show them. You want to select. I'm going to go ahead and select myself again. This is going to show them. Let's see. I've had 23 new accounts entered since the end of August, so that's about 3 or 4 months worth of data. Yeah, so exactly sales for the last 4 months. It's going to show me these 23 accounts, what they've bought in this amount of time. So last invoice was 0 to 30 days, 30 to 60, and make sure that your new business becomes permanent business, because you can pull this report and see, hey, I entered this new account. Let's see, what's a good example right here? BUA and Associates. They were entered on 9/30, but their last invoice was 60 to 90 days ago. They haven't bought anything in the last 60 days. Well, that's a phone call right there. What happened? To get a regenerated business and make things they stay permanent business, this is the thing you want to review and make sure your new business is staying with us. Oops. And this is nice. You actually see something like this. What this is going to show you is a total graph of all of the sales for each individual sales rep, and you should see something very similar to this that you get on the monthly report from Ron, but it's not in a bar graph, it's in numerals. So right now we'll see that Tom Walter had over $100,000 in sales. Like I said, I was just under 60, it was right around 54, so that looks like it matches up. It's just a new way to take a look at each different rep and how they're faring for that different month. Close that. I got my sync window here. I'm going to minimize that there. So the last thing in this Smart Reports Manager we're going to go over is a schedule listing report. This is going to list all current items in a schedule. So let's go ahead and we'll pick out Rita this time. Okay, so I see that all currently active items that are in a schedule, and they can be pretty old or pretty new, and they range, and you have the ability to select completed items or show all items, and you can see a lot of different reports. So all items is going to include things that are completed and things that are currently active. It's going to show you each and every appointment you have in your calendar. So if you have a lot of appointments that you want to go through and manage and make sure, what can I do to look at these and how can I make sure I'm on top of my schedule, you can print out this report and go over this anytime you ever need to. The last thing we're going to do here is we're going to jump into the contact management, and I'm going to pull up a new account, Thompson Creek Manufacturing, and I'm going to look at the reports tab here. There are two reports we want to look at. One is the Start the Contact Overview report, and this is going to show all data on the customer for a selected amount of date range. And this report is really useful because, for example, Tim came to me and he had a customer that they said, hey, you're calling us, but we don't know who you are. We don't think we've ever worked with you before, and I'm not sure if we know who you are, Smart Office Services. It doesn't ring a bell. I don't think we want to work with you guys. Well, what Tim did is Tim comes into this report and he pulls this and sends it to the customer, showing them that not only have you worked with us, here's everything you've bought from us, here's all the information, and you'll see some tabs up here. List communications to after this date. Let's go ahead and jump this to the beginning of the year and refresh this report. I can now see any communication notes that I've made or any account touches where I've ever called that customer, and it lists them over and over, and also talks about the different surveys that have taken place and the questions that have been answered. So sending this to the customer saying, actually, you have worked with us, and the last time you did work with us was at this date. The last time we ever communicated with you was at this time. It looks like you are actually the person we have on the account to be speaking with. So to keep this on your record. It looks like you may have just forgotten about us, but I hope that we can remind you with our great service and how it's reaching out to you. So a really good way to see some visibility and get some information on the customer if they don't ever think that they're in contact with us. Lastly is the Start the Product Category Breakdown Report, which takes just a minute to bring up. Okay, this is going to show you in both an Excel style format and a graph style format what's being bought by this customer. So it looks like they've been buying a fair amount of Jansan. November really wasn't much, but December has been a lot. September has been pretty low. Kind of IT supplies that they've been buying, paper, standard office supplies. Also gives you that breakdown by month, by gross profit in this list up here. So really nice to see what is my customer buying, what is not my customer buying. It's a big red flag to me here. OEM toners and compatible toners. This customer is not buying any toner from us, but they're buying paper. What's going on? How can we get more toner out of this customer? How can we find out what they're not buying, what they are buying? Now you'll see printing and ad specialty. This is going to be blank because if they do buy printing from us, they're going to be on a printing account. That's not going to be showing up here. But really big thing, same with furniture. But this is a big red flag here. No OEM toner, no compatible toner. How would I ever know if they're buying that or not? This is the report. So that sums up all the reporting that we have. We really have that's excellent here in Smart Biz Kit to give you a lot of different visibility and clarity into your accounts. Next training will be coming in a week regarding win-back campaign. Thanks for watching.